Your sensitivity has a job. Nobody told you what it is, so you've spent years trying to manage it, heal it, fix it, but it was never here to be managed. You were born with it because you're built to do something very specific, and no one ever named it. I'm going to do that today. I'm Wanda Vitale. If you're new here, this is the Reality Architects. I'm a dream builder coach, and I work with people who are here to step into fulfillment and to create a life they love. You were told to toughen up, to heal your energy, to put a bubble around you when you go out, all kinds of stuff. You were told to heal what makes you feel so deeply, that it's your trauma. And you tried, but it never worked because you were fixing the wrong thing. You can't manage your way out of something that was never, ever a malfunction. You're neurologically different. Highly sensitive people are born this way. We were born neurologically different. We have an antenna that never gets turned off. We are wired to be merged with everything 24/7. And I used to think that what was wrong with me because other people can just push down the little slight fear or doubt or anxiety. And other people do. They compartmentalize, but you can't. And there's nothing wrong with that because nothing is built to receive that much information and to process it so deeply, unlike other people, unless it has a reason. And let me tell you how I know that job that you have was never a mission to go do. No, you're here for something quieter, but so much bigger. The thing that hurt you the most, that place you didn't fit, the thing you've been resenting for years, that's not the damage. That's the design. The wound and the gift are the same thing. Same shape. They're just flipped. And I know you've probably heard this before, but I want to give you some examples of clients that I've worked with. And these are just a few of the many people that I have worked with who are using their sensitivity as something that changes their lives and the people around them, and is really the whole reason that they're here on the planet. One woman, one client who was abandoned at birth by her mother, she has the most fierce maternal love for the vulnerable, for people who have no one. It's the exact wound that became her gift. I've never met anyone like her. She is a fierce mama bear protector for anyone and everyone. And another person, someone who thought all this tension that she felt was because of her, that something was wrong with her. She can walk into a room or be in a meeting at work and she can feel the tension. But she realizes that she's acutely attuned to when tension arises, that moment that things go south. And she knows what needs to be restored. Her hypervigilance was the instrument. She reads fields. She works with animals and people and is amazing and would not have this gift, and she would not have this acute awareness unless she had to navigate it in her life, because she thought, what is wrong with me? What is all this tension? What am I doing wrong? Maybe you can see yourself in this. Another person who always felt like the outsider. And I know a lot of you feel this way because if you're a sensitive or an empath, we are kind of outsiders. We aren't like the others. We feel more. But what's the gift of being the outsider? Well, with this client, she's not here to fit into old agreements, old rules, old anything. And she's here to know what's done so that something new can be created. And she helps create that more authentic form of belonging, true, more authentic and workable rules or procedures. So that outsider's wound becomes the leader's vantage point. And many of you are here for that very same reason. And another person, she came to me and said, all I do is fail. What's wrong with me? Nothing has ever worked. And a lot of you are here for that. She realized that her experimenter's approach is how she knows what's real and what's not, what has to go and what has energy, life force energy or energy in it. It's how she's built to find truth. And in my own life, I've had to stand in so much upheaval and experience so much upheaval in my life. If you've listened to my other videos, I've talked about when everything went away, when everything I knew to be true burned to the ground. All of that was so that I can be unflappable and present and coherent, so that the next step can land, the next idea can land. Coherence is the gateway to exactly whatever we need. And that's where I live now. But I had to go through all this education of, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Do I have a curse? I think probably I said that at one point in my life. But it's all purposeful. We go through life saying, why do I have to learn Portuguese? I don't want to learn Portuguese. Oh, it's so hard. I don't want to do this. But what if the whole purpose of your life is to learn Portuguese so that you can teach it? The thing that you have resented the most is the thing that you're here to give. Your life was never about that you're incapable or too sensitive or too anything. It was an education. Nothing was ever broken. Your life does make sense. You just haven't been shown the bigger arc and the shape of it. But this is what I want you to know, that once you see your life this way, you stop trying to fix yourself or say that you're too fragile, too sensitive, too whatever, and start living from the beauty of it. Start asking questions. This is why you notice everything. This is why you feel so much. You're sifting. You're sifting. You're realizing what's off, what no longer works. You're realizing what's based on inequality. You're experiencing in your own life some rules that just don't work anymore. And you're painfully aware in your own life what no longer works. So nothing is wrong about your sensitivity. It is the exact tool that others don't have access to, because they're in their heads. They compartmentalize. They don't feel deeply. They don't notice nuances. And this is why you're here, because you're here to change things. You're here to live from your heart, not your head. You're here to trust that everything in your life has been so purposely rigged, because moving through whatever you're going through right now is exactly what you're here to either model for others, you may teach, you just may make a comment to someone that changes their lives. I just heard this from another client yesterday. Everything is here to serve you. So I have some questions for you that you can ask yourself about your own life. You can come back to these. What are you walking through that will assist others? And what's the gift? What's the gift in what you're experiencing now? What are you having to learn or understand or resolve yourself that will help others? I have another client who was basically rejected at birth. So she's learning to love herself wholly and fully, and to do it fiercely, and to stop settling for crumbs. How many of you that are listening are still settling for crumbs and calling it a life? How might that change your life and others when you start claiming that you're ready for all your desires, that you're ready for joy, not more work? And I have one last question. Whatever is happening in your life right now, is it showing you where you're still living in survival? Trying to prove that you're enough, trying to prove that you're worthy, settling. We live in one of two modes, and it's survival or creative. And most people are living from survival. And especially if you think you're fragile or not enough, what would it look like to live creatively, to stop the healing and fixing, and to realize that your sensitivity is a tremendous gift? How would you use it in your own life? What would you stop thinking about? What would you stop believing? What would you start claiming for yourself? If you want to go deeper into this, my next live threshold group begins on, let's see, June 30th at 4:30. I'll drop a link below. You can check it out. This is where we slow way down and look at the moment. That's a threshold of something happens. We make it mean something. We go into our heads, we react, and in that moment, we give up our power. But in the group, we reclaim our power in that moment. I use somatic work, coherence, because nothing changes in our lives until our nervous system is on board with it. And that's why the somatic tools are everything. Thanks for listening, guys. And I'm so glad you're here. We need you. The world needs you.